Welcome back. 42 days and 42 years. The story of my life. Lord's helping me speak this. You can see the lights coming from the heavens right now, just shining right over top of me. Praise God. So, age 9. Age 9, not a whole lot for me to remember. I can remember still playing hockey. I scored against our coach, played net, and for a game, just a fun game, and I scored my first goal in hockey on him. I can remember my brother like playing with fire, and he'd light things up all the time and watch it explode. He'd grab all the things that were explosive, and he'd go out and start lighting it on fire. So he brought me along one day over to the fairgrounds where they have the fair in Erin, and I can remember my brother bringing a bunch of explosives and lighting things on fire. So I started lighting things on fire too with them, finding it fun and joy. And then I went over to this little hay barn and lots of hay, so I started piling up the hay, and I lit the hay on fire, and then I keep throwing more on top, and the fire got bigger and bigger. And then I got carried away, and the fire got really, really big, and I couldn't put it out. So my brother grabbed me and ran, says, "Listen, just stick to the story and follow with it with me." And so I did. We went over to a senior's home, and we called 911 to the police of a fire, and they come over, and we watched them put it out. And my brother kept talking about these two kids that were just there, and they were wearing what do you call those pants, come over top and they hook on, but I'm sure you know what kind I'm talking about. So he's like, they're wearing that, and they took off that way, and all this he's saying. And so I followed along, but truth to be told, it was in the Erin paper too, and I'm the one that ended up causing that fire, and I feel bad. I didn't play much with fire after that. I've never played where it caused the fire again. But yeah, being a young kid, not knowing better, and my brother gets me doing stupid things, and I all yell, well, little brothers always follow their big brothers. So you got to be a big brother and guide them the right path and not bring them out doing stupid things. Like if you're a big brother and you're selling drugs, don't get your little brother out there selling drugs too, so he might get shot and killed. Keep that life to yourself, and really you should change it and go a different path, because those kind of life paths are pretty dangerous. But anyways, another time I went to a fair with my foster mother, actually the whole family, but my foster mother saw psychic readings and all that. So she says to Ron, I'm gonna take Tate over there. So she brought me into the psychic thing, and she started checking and reading, and the first thing she did, she freaked out and looked over at my foster mother and said, "What are you doing to him? He's just a kid." And she got upset, the psychic, and my mother started to grab me to walk out, and the psychic's looking at me and says, "Listen, this life is not going to be good for you, but your next life will be." And so, I believe in another life. I don't believe this is it. I don't even believe this is a real life. As this is called 42 days and 42 years. Well, I believe I'm 42 years old in this world, but I'm only 42 days older in the other world that I really come from. And we're just playing a game and going through, and we're being tested and see how we survive and what we do. And in the real world, we can't have corruption, not like this world. And so, we get second chances. We're human, we make mistakes, but as we go through our mistakes, we should learn from it and change ourselves from what we are and make it that we're a better person. And really, that should be everybody's goal in this world, is to try to make yourself a better person in this world. And so, but that was basically my 9th year. We'd go to Wonderlanders stuff too. And when we went to Wonderland, the flashing lights in the roller coaster caused me seizures, so I'd end up in a hospital bed, and then gone to hospitals and gone back home. And so yeah, there's not a whole lot of stuff that I could think of around 9 years old, of stuff that I did, other than what I just said. Erin's kind of a quiet town. There's not a lot of excitement there. But if you like nature, I remember downhill skiing there. I can remember too, actually, my foster parents. It even happened when I was younger. 2 times we drove to Quebec to see their parents. Their parents were French, and they were both French, and they lived in like maybe 2 hours apart from each other. And so we'd go visit one mother for a little while and then see the other mother. I remember the first time we ever went to see them, I ended up, me and my brother, our gifts were these little dolls. I can't remember what they were called, but one was a cat and one was a dog. And my brother got the dog, and the dog came with no clothes. So my grandparents, foster grandparents, had to sew up a suit for him. And I got given the cat. And I can remember the cat, after years of owning it, you could see his nose was brown, and it was a really small little nose, and you see all the brown is worn out, and that's because I always kissed it on its nose. I would always, it was my toy, it was my doll, like this doll here, right here, Popeye, my little buddy, he's my sailboat doll. And so when I saw him, I had to get him. He belonged on the boat with us. And so, yeah, I ended up losing that thing later on in life, but I'm pretty sure those probably became a collectible. They didn't stay popular. They weren't out very long. They only sold for 1 year, I believe, and then they were gone. Almost like Cabbage Patch Kids, but they were something else. And so, yeah, that's pretty much my 9th year of my life out in Erin. A little bit of downhill skiing, so a lot of recreational stuff, and that was pretty much it. So stay tuned. I'll give you more of my life tomorrow, and have a great evening. Bye for now.